Let's keep these wheels in motion. In motion. You thought I did not know. Did you think I would let it go? Oh no. And in time, yes, I think it's absurd. But until then, you'll leave your words. But lay on. Lay on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, you say that you are innocent, but your words, they seem irrelevant, but still play on. Now it's time to defend your lies. Lies you've been feeding me all this time. And will you reoffend? Oh darling, oh you have reached your lover's end. No more will we make pretend like we something to fight for. Oh. We had nothing to fight for. 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 to be alone. And somehow, someday, we'll find what we're looking for. Till then, you'll still be a whore. Don't tell me who I have become. Don't tell me who I have become. I remembered what you'd say. We're all looking to be alone. And somehow, someday, we'll find what we're looking for. Until then, we will all be yours. We will all be yours. We'll all be whores. Don't tell me who I have become.
Good evening, race fans. How the bloody hell are you on this Friday evening? It's me, UrbanPyrate, Black Flag Racing TV, and we are back for rounds 4, 5, and 6 of the Full Throttle Racing BTCC League. I did step in last week as a cover, but it turns out that they actually quite liked it, so we're back again. And it looks like we'll be doing the entirety of this season. But here we are. We are at the Fuji Speedway, 2.8 miles, 2.84 to be exact, 16 corners and 9 laps in these next 3 rounds. And it's hotting up after last week was an absolutely amazing racing last week at the Glen. But we're here in Fuji in Japan. It is called the Fuji Speedway, but of course it's not a speedway. The original intention was for it to be built as a speedway, but they ran out of money. So let's turn it into a normal racetrack. It used to have a crazy banked corner that used to kill enough people, but nah, it's not like that anymore. Should we go and have a look at the lobby, see who's in? We do have a driver change, a permanent driver change. As I understand, Hoppers is stepping into the Focus ST team permanently. So that's a driver change. We'll have a look at see how he's getting on when the time comes. So grid lineup. That's how the grids look. You can see there that Andy Hopley jumping into that Napa Focus ST alongside Jordan Harding. We do want to have a quick look at the standings after the race at Watkins Glen, or the 3 races at Watkins Glen last week. Panos Theodoragiannis. I think I got that right. It helps that I'm related to a Greek guy, so kind of down with the names. There we go. Great performance from him last week, helping pull the Sicily AMG Mercedes team to the top of the team leaderboard. Ethan Graham in second. He had a fantastic couple of races. His third race, though, wasn't so great. Cost him a couple of, quite a few places, actually. And he ends up finishing second in the standings thus far. Could change today. Adam Piper from the McGann Power Max Racing team is alongside him in third. So we're at Fuji today, and what we will do over the course of the next few weeks, we'll talk about the teams they're representing and the cars they're actually in, because some of them obviously don't match up because the cars aren't available in the game, etc, etc, etc. Today we're going to feature the Power Max Racing team and Team Hard. Team Hard are first up because I have an association with Team Hard already, and I like them, so there we go. But Fuji, interesting racetrack. Fuji, very interesting racetrack. And that's a hot lap in the NSX. We'll have a look at while I talk about Fuji. So it is in the foothills of Mount Fuji, obviously, in Japan. It was originally built in the early 60s as a speedway track, but they ran out of money. But it's been used predominantly for sports car championship and national racing. Also some Super GT, Super Formula, Lamborghinis, all sorts. It has hosted Formula One races, but only a couple of times. Famously, of course, 67 and 76 and 77, particularly when James Hunt nicked the championship from Niki Lauda in that final race of the season. Niki Lauda pulling out due to really poor conditions, and James Hunt saying thank you very much, I'll race. He finished behind the great Mario Andretti, but scored enough points to win the championship over Niki Lauda. Yeah, so there we go. It was then again used in 2007, 2008 for Formula One. The Formula One then moved away from Japan for a couple of years before it returned back to what I feel is probably its rightful home, Formula One, here at Suzuka, where it has been ever since in Japan. So Felipe Massa holds the lap record in its current configuration. That was in 2008 in the Ferrari F2008 with a 1:18.426. We're not going to see times anywhere near as low as that here, but I do expect to see some pretty quick times. One thing that's really, really important about this circuit is that turn 16, the final corner, Panasonic, absolutely is probably the most important corner on this circuit. It's the longest straight in, or one of the longest straights in motorsport. It's nearly 1.5 kilometres long, the straight here. So it does really require that you get a really, really good exit out of that final corner that turns 16. I mean, we'll have a look at the racetrack because we are about to start qualifying. So without further ado, let's get on the track. Let's see how people are faring qualifying wise. We'll see who's out there today, and we'll have a little walk through on the track, shall we? Gonna bring up all my deets. Here we go. Right, so who's been first to blink? There we go. Right, so Groot, our lobby host, he's out first. We will go on board with him at some stage. Now, it very well could rain. I don't know if the conditions are set to, but this is a track where it has been known to rain. Groot, of course, is in that rich energy Honda Civic, and he's going to be first out to make some try and get himself on that podium if he can in that Honda Civic. Now, the cars with the big straight line speed, they're going to be a 4-speed record here on that 1.5 kilometre straight out of turn 16. Very, very complex track. Does require all of your skills. Pretty quick circuit, other than sort of towards the end of sector 3, which is very, very tricky with a big hairpin and a couple of big braking zones. Requires a bit of patience with your throttle as well. You're quite easy to lose the back end. You've got the very tricky chicane. You can see Group going through there now. And then you've of course got this hairpin, which is coming up in a second. So you can flip around to the right side. You've got this it's kind of odd shaped hairpin as well. It almost, it sort of gets tighter and tighter as you go through it. You just have to be patient, not abuse those track limits on the way out. Now, this is where it is key. We're going to go on board with him for this. So here we go. Very key to get really good exit out of turn 16. Get on that power as quickly as possible for this 1.5 kilometre straight, which takes you down all the way to turn 1. There is the entrance to the pits on your right hand side. Do not fall foul of that pit entry line when you go in. There is a 3-second penalty waiting for you if you touch it. Power all the way down, and you're looking somewhere around that 100 metre board just after. That's when you're breaking down into second gear, get that rotation on these front wheel drive cars. Before you back on the power again, you power through turn 2, heading down to turn 3. Turn 3 is not a big braking zone here. Sector 1, very fast part of the circuit. Little dab of brake, you don't need to change your gear. Just get it turned in, get that rotation before you very patiently lift off here, just to keep the car within those white lines. Let it clip the apex before you hit that power again, for a blast before the 50 metre board. When you power down, when you are powered down, brake in second gear. Use all the road on that exit and let the car just drift round here as you power up towards this very tricky chicane. You're looking for that Dunlop sign. That's kind of your marker just after there. On those brakes, down into first gear. You want full rotation, nice and early into that chicane to give you a much better exit on the second part of the chicane. Flicking around to the right hand side, second gear. Again, clip that apex nice and tight. Give you as much road for the exit as you head up the hill for this very strange hairpin. Again, nice and tight. Gives you lots of exit room before you head to turn 16. Very quick circuit. Again, slow in, fast out on the power, early, and that's it. And you can see you wanted to get on that power so much earlier there if you could, but it's so difficult to risk losing the back end of this car. Powering down, this will be, as he crosses the line, with a 1:46.0. He sets the first time on there, but he's picked up a penalty somewhere, because that lap will not count, so clearly there was a track limits violation somewhere in that. You've got to keep at least 2 of your 4 tyres this side of your white lines if you want your lap to count. Fastest lap so far, Graham, demonstrating why he was a pole sitter last time out in that BMW with a very quick 1:44.8, and he's already nearly a 1/10.5 up on that time. 3/10 ahead of Adam in the he was in the Honda, wasn't he? He is with a 1:45.1, being held up a little bit by Panos in that Mercedes-Benz AMG. Riley third in the AMG at the moment. That's a 1:45.9 for him. Original John in the Team Hardcar, one of my featured teams today. He's in the Volkswagen Golf. Team Hard actually don't race in the Golf, they race in Leon Cupra, but the Leon Cupra's not available. And they have a massive heritage, Team Hard, in Volkswagen Golf racing. They do race in the VW Cup, and that's where they started out. Tony Gillam, who I was lucky enough to meet, we're talking over 20 years ago now. Where are we? Yeah, not far off, 18 years ago, when he was racing himself in the cars in the Volkswagen Cup and repairing my own Golf at the time in order to pay for it. I've been lucky enough. I still have a good relationship with Lee Duncan, who runs their esports team as well, and done some work with Team Hard. But this is the car that they've chosen. They've gone for obviously the correct livery, but they're using this Volkswagen Golf Volume 7. Showing my age now because I actually had a Mark 1, which is quite sad, really. There we go. But John staying third on that second row. Evil Dragon, there he is in the other BMW M2. Good performance from both of those drivers last week in that BMW, with a 1:45.4 for him. Harding on row 3 at the moment. He is with a 1:45.6. Looking pretty quick. He's going to be held up behind Captain Slow on this hot lap. Groot, there he is. I am Groot. Yes, he is. We were on board with him. He has improved that lap with a 45.7. That one counts. Riley dropping down the order with that 45.954. Couldn't improve. Panos struggling a little bit as well with that AMG. His performance last week would suggest he's got a little bit more pace in the pocket with a 46.0. Captain Slow with a 46.4. There's Hoppers. Welcome to the Championship Hoppers, jumping into that Ford Focus Napa ST with a 49.2. Mark T. He's in that other Honda Civic with a 150.2. And Liam is in the other Rich Energy Honda, currently sitting in 12th, yet to set a valid time. So, the Renault Megane of Adam looking very, very quick. And Power Max actually is one of our featured teams this week. We'll tell you a little bit about Power Max, shall we? They don't race in the Megane. They do race in a Renault, but not the Megane. It's a TOCA spec 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged touring car engine in the Vauxhall Astra touring car. 360 brake horsepower and 7,000 RPM with a fly-by-wire throttle, direct fuel injection, yada yada yada. 6-speed sequential gearbox. That's the car that the actual team use. A little bit about their history. Not much to tell really. They originally were a title sponsor for Chevrolets in 2014, and they decided to join the fray themselves, originally in Chevys, before they switched onto the Vauxhalls, which they've been racing ever since, and doing quite well as well in those Vauxhall Astras. As for the car they're actually using, they are racing in the Renault Megane Sport RS Trophy. Here, Adam and his teammate. It is a turbocharged 2-litre inline 4, chucking out 261 brake horsepower before obviously they've done all their tuning and tweaking and stuff. Front engine, front wheel drive. Starts out at 1,300 kilos, nearly 1,400 kilos, but with their tweaking, they've got it down to a more manageable race weight. Quite a long car, nearly 4.5 meters long, 1.8 meters wide, and it's 1.4 meters tall. But I do like this car. I had this as a car probably about 15 years ago. I had a convertible, to be fair, because I was a show-off. What you need with a convertible in this country, I don't know. But yeah, I had a convertible version of this car, and it was a pretty decent motor. Obviously, it wasn't the trophy. It was the bog standard Renault Megane convertible. But yeah, very, very good car. Right. Let's have a look where we stand qualifying wise. There is Graham back on pole in that BMW M2. Liam has put in a fantastic time in the Rich Energy Honda. 144.3 puts him on the front row with Graham. Adam in third on the second row with the Megane, as we've just been talking about. He is just 1.5 tenths ahead of Groot in the other Rich Energy Honda. The original John, very well for Team Hard in that Volkswagen Golf, ahead of Panos, the winner of race 3 last time out, and current championship leader in that AMG Mercedes-Benz. Evil Dragon and Original John having a little coming together there during qualifying. That's not the done deal during qualifying, is it? Evil Dragon in that BMW at the moment can't do better than, and he's decided to finish this in reverse. Looking pretty tasty. And he's spit. Oh, good graphical spin there. Harding is 8th. Riley in 9th in the other AMG. Captain Slow in the Halfords Honda. In 10th, Mark T is behind him, and the new boy Hoppers with a bit of work to do with a 149.2 in the Napa Focus ST. 12 runners of this evening. This is the final lap of qualifying. Format is relatively simple. This sets the grid for race number 1. Race number 1 sets the grid for race number 2. Race number 2 reverse the grid for race number 3. They have to use the medium compound tyres, but they're restricted to how many times they can use it in race number 1. We will, I have a graphic for it. I'm not going to use it yet. We'll use it when things start to hot up a bit. So they're only allowed to use it twice in each race, essentially. Bear with me. I've just got a message I've got to quickly look at. Yeah, boy, I'm getting bought food by my son. Get in there. Yes, so they've got to use the medium compound tyre in one of the 3 races this evening, as they do every single event. They're restricted to how many times they can use it in each time, though. So they can't always use it in race 1 or race 2 or race 3. They have to spread it out evenly. So twice in race 1, twice in race 2, and twice in race number 3. So that is the grid set. Let's have a look at the final grid there as Liam steals pole right to the death there in that Civic. The Rich Energy Civic with a 144.2. He's on the front row with Graham in that M2 competition. Adam and Group make up row 2 with the original John and Panos on row 3. The only Brits, or non-Brits should I say, in that top 8. Evil Dragon and Harding on row 4. Row 5 is... what's going on? Why is he's not showing me row 5? There we go. Riley and Captain Slow. And row 6 is Mark T and Hoppity Hoppers in that Ford Focus ST. So everyone's ready to go. Qualifying is done. Can Graham, remember he last time out he was pole sitter. He won the first 2 races quite convincingly and didn't do so well in race number 3. We're looking for some improvement, or certainly he'll be looking for some improvement in race number 3. But his biggest challenge for the championship at the moment there, Panos, the current championship leader, down there in 6th, with the AMG of his teammate Riley is back there in 9th. So AMG current team leaders going to find themselves under a bit of pressure today. Be interesting to see what tyres everyone starts on as well. For me, I think if you can get the mediums out of the way, get them out early and done and dusted. But we are ready to go racing here at the Fuji Speedway for the first of 3 races, rounds 4, 5 and 6 here of this BTCC league. There we have it. This is really annoying, PD. I have to do this every single time. We want to go there and we want to go back to sort of midfield there with original John, and we'll see how people get away. What do we want? Race car noises. When do we want them? Meow! And we're away. Liam Thurso looked to get away quite well. Graham looked to get away quite well. The Evil Dragon in that M2. That's a fantastic start from him. Up into 5th. Riley, though, getting a really good run in that AMG down to turn 1. Are we through safely? Any shenanigans into turn 1, always a worry. Well, especially when you've got a long run in there. You can see there's a car there out on that left-hand side of Panos, taking an interesting line through turn 1. So Graham takes the lead early doors, makes the off the line pace of that BMW really work for him. The McGanns here are going to be strong. They've got a really good, strong, quick mid-range here. But Liam showed that he's got incredible pace in that Honda Civic. And Japanese cars always seem to perform well at Japanese circuits. They seem to be designed quite well for that. There is a little bit of lag that I've noticed. Now I don't know if that is server. There have been a few server issues this week, right back from last Sunday actually, with problems with getting lobbies even up and running. And again on Monday we had the same problems as well. So I don't know if it's an offshoot from that. It's not been quite fixed. But we will find out. I do apologise if you can hear in the background. My 9-year-old is singing her little heart out upstairs. We bought her a keyboard and a microphone and all that for Christmas. Quite a musical family. And she is, she can't do either, but she's practising quite loudly at the moment, which is quite funny. Anyway, Liam is chasing down Graham, but trying to stick with him. But Graham's doing what he does best, which is get the hammer down and get a wriggle on. Let's have a little look at tyre and fuel strategies for everybody. Well, fuel's not really an issue, but tyre strategies certainly. Graham starting on those racing soft tyres, as did Liam. Starting out front makes sense if you're out there. Adam in the Renault Megane, also on the racing softs, as is Evil Dragon. John T. Oh, there we go. There's your first medium tyre runner. There's Riley in the AMG as we come to the second time round turn 1. Riley running the medium compound tyre. Original John on the softs. Mediums for Panos as well in the AMG. So they're getting them out of the way nice and early, those the Team AMG drivers. Mediums there for Harding in that Napa Ford Focus. Captain Slow in the Halford Civic. on the soft tyres, mediums for Mark T in the other Halfords Honda, and the new boy hoppers opting also for the medium compound tyre, and he's not far off the back of Mark T, chasing him down there for an improvement in track position. So there we have it. Liam has closed the gap on the back of Graham. It was 0.8 of a second. The top three are sort of just pulling away now. You can see here, we'll go on board with Adam here. You see with my helicopter cam up behind Adam, and it's really close between these three. Really tight, and the key here actually is Graham at the moment needs to just give himself a little bit of a gap, get a much better exit out of turn 16 than the other two, because he does not want these two cars tucked in his slipstream if he can help it. It's 1.5 kilometers of slipstream we're giving up here, and Adam tucked nicely behind Liam, but getting a lovely tow down this straight. If he can just get tucked right in there. I don't know why he's flashing his hazard lights. I don't know where the hazard is. Doesn't seem to be anything for me, but you can see here just how strong this tow is. 1:44.8, fastest lap there from Graham. He's not gonna make the move. He's giving him a little bump actually to try and close the gap on Graham. Sensible move, I think, while the BMW is pulling away. But how many times are you going to do that before you want to make the move yourself and take the position for yourself? It's only 9 laps, remember. You want to kind of get yourself in position as quickly as possible, and these cars absolutely, you can see just how key their exit out turn 16 has been in relation to everybody else, because they built themselves a 3.8 second gap over the rest of the field, this top three: Graham, Liam and Adam. Best of the rest there is Original John under significant pressure from Evil Dragon in that other BMW. Evil Dragon having a look up the inside, makes the move. Can he make it stick? He's not going to have the inside line here. Original John will. He tucks in behind, but I think it won't be long before Evil Dragon drags that BMW past the Volkswagen Golf, the Team Hard Volkswagen Golf, and finds himself up in fourth. But it's whether he can close the gap on that top three. You can see there the gap to the top three at the moment is 3.9 seconds, and there's quite a battle going on here. This is right back to, if we go there, Captain Slow. Captain Slow is at the back of that pack. We go to Harding. That's where it's really tight. You can see there's Groot making a move there on the BMW. Can he get it done? Or is he going to be stuck in the slipstream? We'll see here how many positions change. But look at this. It's Harding, Riley, Panos, Groot. It's Evil Dragon. All of those at the moment really benefiting from the slipstream of the cars ahead. How many of these cars are going to be able to capitalise though and use that slipstream? The problem with being, of course, in the slipstream train is that everybody's getting that little bit of a benefit, and you can see there's the BMW moving up ahead. He's trying to break that toe and not let the cars back round him. Riley getting taken by Harding up the outside, under braking though. Can Riley hold on into turn one? Yes, he can. That Ford Focus ST not able to make the move. So up the field there, Original John does hold on. Groot Evil Dragon couldn't hold Groot off, and Groot actually takes that position with Original John holding off Evil Dragon in that BMW, not able to make it count, make it capitalise on that slipstream. Really good racing from these guys though, really giving each other a lot of respect, but more respect than I think that your competitors should deserve. Should be burning them on that straight with that slipstream, if you can, of course. But of course it is down to that exit out turn 16. It's all down to that. If you can get that better exit speed than everyone around you, you're going to make it count. Panos there, he's currently on those medium compound tyres. He's sticking with the BMW of Eagle Dragon at the moment. Is he able to keep his teammate Riley at bay, keep Harding at bay? Running those medium compound tyres. The car in front, of course, Evil Dragon, is on the softs, you can see there. So he's doing a good job sticking with that BMW as we come round turn 16 to complete lap 4. Back with your race leaders, and it's still pretty close. 1.2 seconds between Graham and Liam, and 8 tenths of a second, nearly a second between Liam and Adam. So just 1.8 seconds in total separates those top 3 drivers. Original John still in fourth with Groot running in fourth. He's got Evil Dragon again in that slipstream, but just can't match the pace of that Honda down that 1.5 kilometres straight. Evil Dragon holds on though for 6th. He is behind Groot, desperately trying to find a way through. You can see Groot there weaving, bobbing and weaving across the track, not to give Evil Dragon any way to get past. There's Riley in that AMG with his teammate Panos for company. He's got his teammate for company. How long though? As Harding has a little look, tries a little move. Again, round the outside was all that was offered to him. Up the inside this time, he puts the ST up into 8th place. Panos going a little bit wide, trying to hold on. And he breaks himself into that corner there. Is he going to lose another place to Captain Slow behind? Captain Slow getting very, very close to the back of Panos in that Halford's Honda, but Panos luckily recovers. He's lost 1.7 seconds though to Harding. He's got a bit of work to do now. I'm sitting 12 seconds off the leader. Mark T just managed to pull a little bit of a gap from Hoppers now. 2 seconds. Hoppers with a 49.9 in the Focus ST, trying to find a little bit more pace to close up on the back of Mark. A bit of slipstream will help him out. He just puts in actually his best sector of the race. So there he is. There's your race leader. The gap's still around 1 second. Liam's sticking with him, but Graham he's got that BMW just absolutely singing for him. He's just put in the fastest lap of the race with a 1:44.5, which lasted not very long at all, because Liam in second puts in a 44.2. A 1:44.2 from Liam, with that slipstream in the Rich Energy Honda. Absolutely fantastic lap here at Fuji. Adam sticking with them, 44.7. They're all in the sub 45s. Riddle John has gone sub 45 once, and but he's in the sub 45 club, and he's actually gone purple through sector 1. Can he steal that awesome pole from Liam on this lap as he starts to just edge away now from those battling behind? Top 3 now, 4.7 seconds clear. There's Groot and Evil Dragon still battling it out. Evil Dragon is desperately trying to get past that. He just can't seem to find a way. He seems to have the pace. Last lap for him with a 45.6. Last lap for Groot with a 45.8. So he's got the pace over him, but he just can't find a way through. Riley, the best AMG out there at the moment. Panos losing out to Harding and outbraking himself as he came into sector 2, or halfway through sector 2, and just making that mistake, which cost him some time. There is Riley desperately trying to hold off the Focus ST of Harding. He's got his new teammate with him today. He's really close to the back of the AMG, and it seems that here the AMG is just being outperformed by pretty much everybody at the moment. Not finding the significant pace it seemed to find last week at the Glen. Many more, of course, taking opportunities here than there was at Watkins Glen, if you can find the space to do so. Of course, the number 1 is into turn 1 after picking up some brilliant slipstream, but is Harding close enough? Doesn't look like he is to be able to make a move into turn 1. So this AMG does seem, when it gets into the top end, just to be able to hold enough pace to hold off the chasing cars behind, even if they are a little bit quicker through the other 2 sectors. Panos has recovered slightly. Well, I say recovered slightly. He's recovered in that Captain Slow is not quite as close to him anymore, but he's 2.9 seconds now behind Harding, where he's pushing. And you can see there on lap 5, that 49.7. That was his poor lap. Mark T still holding off Hoppers, but the gap has come down to 1.3 seconds, and he's hoping that Hoppers can go choppers and close up and make it a bit of a battle there for those 2 back markers. Mark's a back marker. Dad jokes for the win. Oh, getting a little bit twitchy there was Graham. He heads into that final hairpin. Well, it's penultimate hairpin. It's another hairpin really for turn 16. Absolutely, again, wants to make sure. Excuse me. First on the power. I'm going to apologise now for you, and I don't know why. I genuinely, I woke up at 2:45 today. I haven't been well the last couple of days, so to be fair, I was up early in the morning and did some stuff in the morning. I fell back asleep, and then got up to 2:45. So there's no reason why I should be yawning at all. I blame the medication. Graham is half a second clear of Liam. So the gap is closing. Is there enough? Again, Liam seems to get so close at the end of the straight, but just not close enough. He's only got 2 more opportunities with that slipstream to make that move, unless he can get it done between now and and turn 16, of course. But he is really, really close now to the back of that BMW M2. And you can see just how much pressure the rich energy Honda is putting on that BMW. Graham is having to look at every single apex, not leave any gaps, not leave anything on the table. Gets a little bit squirrely there. Almost abusing the track limits. I don't think there is any major track limit penalties here, which is a bit annoying really, because you're kind of relying on trust, I suppose. Into this very tricky chicane they go, taking 2 very different lines through there. Graham incredibly defensive, doesn't want to risk leaving any gap for Liam to even consider, even ponder the possibility of chucking his car into. Around that final corner they go, the final hairpin they go. Graham not leaving any space there. And you can see here, just trying to edge away. He doesn't want Liam right in behind him as they come out of turn 16. And you can see there, Graham now on the power early. Liam on the power early. Come through there. And it was a much better exit there from Liam than it was from Graham. Graham desperately try to weave across the track, not give any slipstream away. And he just pulls across the track there. But you can see that Liam got a great little tug from that BMW, and look, bobbing and weaving how many times. That is an awful move from Graham, pushing Liam into the wall. What an absolute, that is a clusterfuck, and I'm sorry. That was horrible. And why do that? The car defending so well and racing so well, to force another driver into a wall to stop him coming through. This is not fucking banger racing, my friend. This is proper road racing. That has actually now put Liam under a bit of pressure from Adam, and it would be an absolute fucking travesty for Liam if, after all that hard work of closing on the back of Graham, he loses second place because he gets pushed into a wall. I don't know what the stewarding situation is, but the stewards need to be getting their pen and paper out for that one, I think. Adam closing down on the back of Liam now. Liam has managed to edge just away. Is he going to get another opportunity to close on Graham? It doesn't look like he will. That little barge from Graham to knock Liam into the wall, I think it's been enough to just keep him at bay. Crying shame, I have to say, from Graham. Especially when you're quick enough. When you're quick enough to win races without that, it's even worse, really. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. And, if you wouldn't do it in real life, why would you do it in the game? Maybe you would do it in real life. I don't know. Anyway, round the final corner, Graham goes. He's going to win race number 1 under some spurious circumstances. He would have had the opportunity to come back had they just been racing. 1.2 seconds in the end from Liam. If there is a penalty to come his way, then I'm sure that'll bust him down to where he should be, which is second. Liam home in second. Third for Adam. Fourth, best of the rest for the original John. Quite some way ahead of Groot in the end there. Groot held off Evil Dragon for fifth. Sixth for Evil Dragon. Harding did get past Riley in the end for seventh. There he is with his teammate as they cross the line in the AMG 1, AMG 2, Riley and Panos. Captain Slow, not so slow today, my friend. Home in 10th. And it is the back marker, or back mark T. And Hopper's sticking with him the whole way. It's been a pretty decent race between these two. Mark T just been able to hold him at bay. But down to the line they come. It's Mark T in the Halfords Honda Civic. He'll take 11th position ahead of Hoppers in that Focus ST in his first race for the team, coming home in 12th position. Fastest lap to Liam with a 44. It's a phenomenal lap that was. How good was that lap? There we go. Victory for Ian Graham, although spurious. Right, there's the final result. So Graham from Liam first, so Adam from Original John. It was Groot from Evil Dragon, Harding, and then Riley. Got to give John or Panos a Dude Bell. Why different names? I don't understand why they have different names. It's crazy. Mark and then Hoppers. WW Wallington Wanderers, Wickham Wanderers Football Club. Wickham Wanderers? Could be Wickham Wanderers. Hopper's sorry for the nudge. There we go. So, there we have it. That's race number 1 done and dusted. Be a couple of minute break before we go into race number 2. But yeah, Harding's right. Absolutely great race between him and those two AMG Mercedes-Benzes. Looking for the field, actually. I'm trying to think which cars haven't. Well, I haven't had an AMG. I haven't had a Mercedes at all. In fact, I never owned one. I've had a Ford Focus. Didn't have the ST, I had the RS. I've had a Civic, but it wasn't a good one. It was a very, very. It only lasted a couple of months before I got rid of it. It was dog shit. I've had the BMW, not the M2. I had the old Sharknose 325i. I've had the Renault Megane. I've had many Volkswagen Golfs. Love those cars. Pretty much every iteration of the Golf, bar 6 and 7, I think. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Should have known that, really, shouldn't I? Wolverhampton Wanderers. Bearing in mind that that's where my brother lives, and he is a Wolves fan. Yeah. Wolves, as they're otherwise known in the Black Country there. Talking of Black Country, the Black Country GT drivers have started their endurance series this evening. Good luck to all of those guys in that, competing in that race. Also, we've got coming up. What have we got coming up? I hear you cry. I'll tell you. We have now officially launched, not that one, the GT Alpha's new series for 2024. And since we opened registration on Monday, we already have more drivers than we need for 2 lobbies. We're very quickly approaching 3 lobbies. If you want to get involved in this brilliant international series, then I recommend you jump over on our Discord and get registered as soon as possible, because I think we're going to limit the lobbies at 4 maximum. Yeah, I think we're going to limit them at 4 maximum. I think any more than that, and it becomes a bit of a logistical nightmare in terms of organisation. So if you want to get involved, there's a couple of weeks left to sign up, but I would recommend getting involved early. The cash prize is available to the best drivers. So yeah, if you're interested in some really cool racing and some very cool cars over 10 weeks, starting on the 10th of February, then jump on our Discord and have a little looky-see at that shizzle minizzle for whizzle. I can't remember what I did with there we go, there it is. Yeah, it's not 3 days to go anymore, it's actually launched now, and that was from last week. Anyway, let's turn that off. I forgot how to turn it off. Oh, there we go. Wrong button, dude. So we talked a little bit about the Power Max Racing. We talked a little bit about them. A little bit about Team Hard, shall we? So Team Hard, owned by Tony Gillam. He started racing himself from around the late 90s, 99, when my older son was born. He was obviously restricted by budget quite a lot. He opened a garage next door to where I worked. It was in Dartford at the time. And they focused predominantly, and he was racing at the time he started with MR2 racing, but he got involved in the VW Cup in 2006. And we had a fleet of Volkswagen Golfs, which he used to look after for us. And that basically funded his racing career. They're still involved in the VW Cup today. They've moved into the Porsche Carrera Cup. And then in 2011, they broke into the British Touring Car Championship. And now they've got 4 cars competing in that Touring Car Championship in the Leon Cupra. One of those drivers is the brother of course, the... I'm not going to say what I really feel about him. Lewis Hamilton. Let's just say the brother of Lewis Hamilton. Because I've got a relationship with Team Hard, I should probably stop talking about Lewis Hamilton the way that I have done previously. They've got 4 cars now in that BTCC. They've also got a very successful esports team, E-Team Hard, who we've been involved with at Black Flag. We've run a couple of last year we ran a couple of sanctioned Team Hard events, as well as did some broadcasting for them, both on Black Flag Racing TV and on their own YouTube channel. However, the car that Team Hard are using here is the Volkswagen turbocharged 2-litre inline 4 216 brake horsepower Volkswagen Golf Volume 7 GTI. Phenomenal motor car. It's a straight 4 turbo engine, and it's got 35.7 kilograms FM of torque. It's a phenomenal car. I don't think there's been many bad Volkswagen Golfs in the history of cars. I think they've all been pretty darn decent. So there we have it. So that's your two featured teams this week. Maxed or power maxed in using the Renault Megane, and Team Hardy using that Golf GTI. Next week we'll feature, I think, the AMGs, and in fact we'll do the 2 Civic teams next week, because we've got 2 Honda Civic teams running in this championship. One being the Rich Energy team, and then the Halfords team as well. So we'll feature those 2 and the cars next week. And actually, they actually race in those particular cars in the BTCC. Just waiting for race number 2 to begin, as I waffle on a bit. So fantastic racing in that first race. Little bit controversial with the winner, but that's down to the stewards to decide. I call what I see, and then the stewards pick it apart when they're ready. That M2 though in Groves has looking pretty darn quick, as is the Rich Energy Civic in the hands of Liam. Adam looking good in that trophy. Original John in the Golf looking pretty darn quick as well. The AMGs, particularly the one in the hands of Panos, that was so dominant last week at Watkins Glen and put him on the top of the leaderboard. Not finding the pace here at Fuji. They've got the straight line speed, certainly. But I think they struggle through the slower parts of this course. Watkins Glen being such a fast racetrack, and Sector 3 here being requiring a little bit more finesse than some tracks. It's I think that's where the AMG seems to be losing out. But plenty still of racing still to go. Waiting for Ash's reserve driver. Who is the reserve driver? Does that mean we're waiting for another driver to come in, or we're waiting for someone to tick in, or what is that? I'm assuming it means that someone else is joining us. Well, that'd be good if we had 13 cars rather than just the 12. We do have 7 teams, so you'd expect to have 14 drivers pretty much every week. I know we're missing Ashley, who's normally our glorious host. He has a family, otherwise planned family engagement, and as those of you like us to know, if your family tell you you're doing something, you're not racing as much as you might like to. What's been going on in UrbanPyrate's world this week then, as we're waiting around? Not a great deal, to be honest. Obviously we had the launch of Alphas earlier in the week. Been potting around the house really, just doing random stuff. Bought a soda stream. That's what I did. I bought a soda stream. 2 reasons. One, I wanted to remember my childhood, and 2, we go for a ridiculous amount of Pepsi Max in this house. We buy crates of stuff. We've got 7 people live here, so it's to be expected. So yeah, we go through a ridiculous amount. So I thought we'll get a soda stream, and to be fair, it's not that much different. And it has occurred to me that just this week alone, the amount of recycling we've been chucking out has gone down. We still have the cans, because some people are too lazy to use a soda stream machine, but yeah, there we have it. It will get pretty loud probably in about 10-15 minutes, because the missus has gone shopping. She loves a bit of shopping, does the missus. But it's actually food shopping this evening. She goes and does shopping for the house and then for her dad as well. So she'll be bounding through the door with bags and clattering me on the back with them as she comes through, I imagine. But she will try and keep quiet. You might hear her singing actually at some point. So there we go. So we've got a 13th driver in. He's in the Renault Megane as well. We've got two Meganes out there today. Awesomeness. Yeah. So that's Adam's co-driver. So some additional points available for the Power Max, or one of our featured teams, Power Max team today. Now that SCLD is in the room, he's obviously going to start from the back of the grid, purely because he didn't race in that last race. So waiting for this second race to begin. This is race number 5 of this BTCC series. One race after this, which will be a reverse grid, and that always makes for interesting racing. We saw last time out with those really quick guys starting at the back that Graham just couldn't find his way through and then got clipped, I think, at some point, which basically took him out of the race. Maybe that was what informed his decision to put Liam into the wall in this particular race. Okay, we are ready for race number 2. Apologise for my nephew screaming his head off like a fucking idiot. He's got massive ears, he can't help it. Right, let's have a look from back here with Harding. We are away. Good start again from the BMWs from right. Oh, look at that. The AMGs, we know how quick they are to start. They were so good last week as well. So great start from the BMWs. Fantastic start from the AMGs into turn 1. Everyone vying for a position. Oh, it's a little bit feisty in there. A few cars getting clipped on the way through turn 1. I think pretty much everyone came out alive. Hopper's losing out there. But no, it wasn't as clean as you'd like through turn 1 that time out. So there's your race leader Graham again, taking the lead of the race. This time Adam chasing him down in the Megane, Liam in third. We're going to see a similar battle, these three similarly taking a bit of a distance between them and the rest of the pack. There is Groot in fourth with Panos in the AMG after that phenomenal start, getting himself up to fifth. Who's running the medium tyres in this second stint? So look at the guys out front. Are they going to... Wait, well, there we go, because Graham, we can see, is on the mediums. Adam's gone for the softs. How long can Graham hold him at bay? Liam's gone for the softs as well. That means Liam's going to be running those medium tyres in that final race. Groot on the softs. There's Panos. He's already run those mediums. He can run the softs there. Evil Dragon challenged by the AMG of Riley. Riley makes the move. Evil Dragon get it a little bit squirrely in that BMW. The two German cars going head to head to head. Riley's on those softs. Evil Dragon on those mediums. He's going to struggle to keep pace with him there. There's Harding coming straight past him, breezing past as though he's not even there. Another opportunity for a battle between that Ford Focus ST and those two AMGs as he uses that slipstream to get him a little bit closer to the back of Riley. The original John in that GTI, fourth in that last race, lost out early doors in that kerfuffle in turn 1 in that Volkswagen Golf. Finds himself down in ninth position on the soft tyres. Mediums 4, Captain Slow in that Honda. He's going to try and stay ahead of SCLD, who's in. He's on the medium tyres. He's only got 2 races in which one of those has got to run the mediums because he didn't run the first race. He is the reserve driver for the Renault Megane team. There's Mark in the Honda, and Hopper's just behind him. Can Hoppers this time get the best of Mark? Adam and Liam have got past Graham into the lead of this race. Now, how long can he stick with them? That's the key. Is he's going to be wanting to hang on with them, despite the fact that he's on those medium compound tyres. It's going to be a difficult race for Adam and Liam when they're on those mediums in that final race. But right now they've got to capitalise on it. They've got to use that additional braking power, the additional torque they can get out of the corners. They've got to use that while they can, while Graham is on those medium tyres. He's got that BMW tucked nicely up behind Liam at the moment. These two, no love lost between these two after that coming together in race number 1. Is he going to use that slipstream? Is he able to get a run on that Honda? It looks as though the Honda gets so much of a better exit out of turn 16. Of course, being on those soft tyres allows him to get down the power that little bit faster. Adam taking the fastest lap of the race with that 44.6, putting a little gap, 2.5 separating these top 3 at the moment as we head to the braking zone at the end of the straight there. And again, it just looks like the superiority of those softer compound tyres is just allowing that Honda to just open up the gap from Graham quite easily at the moment. Adam, of course, though, disappearing off into the distance, 2.2 seconds clear of Liam now. Really, or so it's now 1.8, but really getting that power maxed car up the road and getting on with it. Does not want he would have seen the battle ahead between Liam and Graham in that last race, and he doesn't want to get involved in that. He wants to get away from that. He knows that these guys have got pace, and he's going to do everything in his power to make that gap as large as possible and not give up any slipstream to these cars behind. That's the key. If you can break the toe, half the battle's done. The car behind all of a sudden is at a disadvantage because they haven't got any extra impetus. So they're basically running the same as you without that extra impetus, that extra few horsepower, the extra few mile an hour that slipstream gives you heading down this very, very long, well, it's one of the longest straights in racing, actually, to be fair. So let's have a look down the order. How's the AMG's getting on? Panos in 4th at the moment. He's still battling with Harding. Riley back behind Groot at the moment. Groot's a solid midfield runner in that Rich Energy Honda at the moment. He's been very solid midfield pretty much throughout this series so far. Holding the AMG of Riley at bay. Riley, of course, has already run those medium compact tyres. No need for him to do so anymore. Having a look round the outside. Is he going for the old switcheroo? Groot not leaving any room for him. Original John, though, he's having a little sneaky look. He's thinking, well, no, if you're not going to make the move, I'll make the move on you, and maybe I'll take a new position. He was pretty quick in that last race. It's looking very, very grotty. Is it going to rain? It looks like it might. I hope it doesn't. Actually, I hope it does. Rain always changes things up a little bit. Mix up. But because there's no mandatory pit stops, it's probably not going to be a wet race this time out. So there he is, closing in on the back of Riley. That, at the moment, that's the battle for 5th place. As Graham dropping down the order. What happened to Graham to drop down there? Really struggling in that BMW on those medium tyres. He's down to 6th as Groot nearly makes a double overtake on the ST as well, but up to 5th, holding on. Look at this fight, side by side. Graham trying to make the move on Riley, makes that move again, gets that position back. Can Riley do the switcheroo in the AMG and take that BMW out? The battle of the German GT racers. And there he goes, Riley up into 6th. And there goes Original John, having a look around the outside of Graham. Can't make that move, but is tucked now in that slipstream with a soft compound tyre and a brilliant exit out of turn 16. I'm absolutely just going to make this. He's going to glide past Graham. There is nothing Graham can do to stop him. Absolutely nothing. Just such a good exit out of that final corner for John Thompson. And I'm not going to make any secret of the fact that John Thompson is a euphemism for a cock. And I hope that wasn't the reason that he was named John Thompson. Or was it John Thomas? I don't know. Back at the front of the field, no change. Adam's still in the lead. The gap is down to under 1 second, though, down to 9/10 of a second, with Liam still chasing him down, 2.7 back to Panos, who's got himself into that top 3 in the AMG, showing the pace that he demonstrated last week in that final race where he absolutely romped home. Harding there in 4th, sticking with Panos every step of the way. It's been a good battle between the Focus driver and the 2 AMG drivers thus far. At the moment, it's him and Panos battling out Groot there. Again, just outside that top 4, with a gap to the AMG behind in the Rich Energy Honda, trying to find a way to battle on. The thing is, the battle here at the moment really is for 3rd, because you've got the battle for 3rd at the moment. It's sort of Original John there in 7th. You've got Riley, you've got Groot, you've got Harding, you've got Panos. They're the drivers battling out for 3rd place. Adam and Liam up in the lead, and they're sort of pulling away. Graham kind of back there now. The medium tyres so much. You can see how much time they give up. Now, Graham did a 44.7 he did on his 44.6, 44.7 on his soft tyres in race number 1, with Liam putting in another 44.2. Phenomenal lap. He's just done his best lap on the mediums, which is 1:45.9. So about 1.2 seconds difference between the 2 compounds, which if you consider that half a second separates the top 2, that is a significant difference in pace. Really significant difference in pace. Fastest lap there for Liam with a 44.2. He's starting to really ramp up that Rich Energy Honda and to put some pressure on the power maxed Renault Megane, which would be obviously a Vauxhall Astra, but they're using Megane instead. So he's having a little look here. Is he going to hold on for the slipstream, or is he going to try and make a move before then and use that superior power, that superior exit speed the Honda seems to have at turn 16, and pull away from this Renault Megane? So he's having a little look. He's certainly lining the car up at this stage. Into turn 16 they head. Is he going to be able to use that slipstream and take the lead of this race, the lead that he probably deserved at the end of race number 1? And here we go. He's had a good exit, and already is closing that gap on the back of the Renault. I don't think there's much this Renault is going to do to be able to stop him. He is weaving a little bit. Surely there's a rule on how many times you can bob and weave across the track. He's taking the inside line, Adam, which is probably the sensible approach. It doesn't look like the Rich Energy car can get the job done, because the sort of tail end, the top end, that Megane just seems to have a little bit of an edge at the top end. I think he pulled out that slipstream a little bit too early to make that move, and just didn't really have the impetus to carry it through into turn 1. So we go again, lap 7 of 9, really ramping up for these two out in the lead. Let's do a full rundown. It's Adam leads from Liam in 2nd, Panos in 3rd, 1 second clear of Harding, running in 4th in that Ford Focus. Groot still holding on in 5th in the other Rich Energy car. That's 2 Rich Energy cars in that top 5. Riley in the other AMG in 6th place. The 2 AMGs running in the top 6. Original John can't recreate heroics in that Golf from race number 1, where he finished in 4th position. He is currently running in 7th and can't find a way around that AMG. Graham on those medium tyres, nowhere near his first race pace, there in 8th position. 2 seconds now behind the Original John. SCLD, or Sklud as he's otherwise known, in the other Megane. He's running 4 seconds behind Graham in 9th place. 2.8 ahead of the other BMW with Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon struggling on those high or medium compound tyres. 9 seconds back to this battle at the back, and it's a proper back marker battle. Captain Slow, just a second clear of Mark T, who's just ahead of Hoppers. These 3 absolutely duking it out for I'm not last. And can Hoppers find a way around these 2? If he gets a good slipstream off of Mark, these 2's cars could be vulnerable to the power of the ST. Into turn 16 they go. Only a couple of laps remaining. 1.2 seconds. He's not getting the exit he really wanted. Wanted to be a lot closer. Mark T really benefiting from being close to the back of his teammate Captain Slow. They're both running in the, of course, the Halfords Honda Civic, and they're just able to open up that gap from Hoppers by working together. And it's always going to be difficult if the cars you're chasing down are teammates. They're going to do whatever they can to keep themselves ahead of you. And when they're teammates, obviously they can work together and do that and make your life incredibly difficult. And that's what they are doing. Look how close Liam is to the back of that Renault Megane. Is there a way through? Again, is he biding his time for the slipstream? We saw that when he got to that kind of top end, that once the Civic maxed out, the Megane had a little bit more to offer. Is Liam going to make the move into turn 16? He had a little look up the inside. Didn't really make the move there, but he's so close, so close. It really needs Adam to make a mistake at the moment, because I think the slipstream's good, the slipstream's working well, but once the Civic leaves that slipstream, it doesn't have that speed boost anymore, and he needs to kind of build that speed boost. I think actually, as close as he is to the back of the car, and as well as that slipstream works for him, it might be he's a little bit too close, because he's catching him, but he's not catching him enough. Or he's catching him too much, he's catching him too early. Or is he going to bide his time as they start the final lap of the race? Is he holding something back? Does Liam know that he can take this position and holding something back from Adam? Because he has got the fastest lap of the race. And he is making a little move there. He's not going to be able to get up the inside. Adam doing a very good job defensively to keep that Honda at bay. As behind, we've got Panos still in third. We've got Harding in fourth. Groot still in fifth. No real change back there. This is where the battle is, though. Adam and Liam for the lead of this race. Into sector 2 we go. Only a couple of corners left before we hit the final sector of this race. And the opportunities for Liam are getting smaller and smaller. They are almost side by side as they head up the hill towards the chicane, with Adam holding that inside line all the way into the chicane they go. Again, taking very different lines through there. Liam looking for a slightly wider line, slightly better exit. Can't get it. Adam's still holding on. Round the outside again for Liam. Is he going to be able to nab the inside line here? No. Adam does a great job of moving that car across the racetrack, just protecting his inside line on every corner. It's actually allowed Panos and Harding to really close up the gap on these two as they go round the final corner. This is the last opportunity. A little dive into turn 16. Liam taking the lead of the race. Can he hold on as we race to the line? Liam making a move in that turn 16 on Adam to steal victory from the jaws of second place. Adam pulling out of the slipstream. It's a drag race to the line. Liam wins from Adam second. Panos coming third with Harding so close in fourth. Groot in fifth. Riley home in sixth. Original John seventh. Graham couldn't do any better than eighth place there on those medium tires. What a finish. And SCLD comes home in 10th, ninth ahead of Evil Dragon in 10th. Captain Slow, Mark T and Hoppers racing to the line. Who's going to be the best of the rest from these guys? It looks like Captain Slow and Mark T have got those two Honda Civics across the line ahead of that Ford Focus. Wow. What a finish there from Liam. I asked the question, is he biding his time? Does he have something up his sleeve for the end of this lap? And absolutely he did. He chucked it up the inside on that final turn 16 and held on as they drag raced to the line to take first position in Wow, what's an absolute stonking finish that was. And I do apologise for radio silence for a little bit there. Had some crazy stuff going on, but what an insane finish that was, with on turn 16, just absolutely melted it on turn 16 and nicked it on the line. It was a phenomenal finish from him there. Um, I, you know, I did wonder whether he was planning it, and it just seems to me that he tried with the slipstream, it didn't work, and he had a plan, and the plan was to stick with him and make that move into turn 16 and nick it, and so he did. There we go. I have solved my mic problems now. I had to turn it off something, and then I can get it turned back on, but it is now working. What crazy close battles that was. Love it when it's that close. That's why we do this, JPH, for this close racing. It's going to be interesting for Graham. He didn't do too well in that race because I think the medium tires he just didn't have the pace. But he's going to be starting sixth on the grid in his reverse grid. And the drivers like Liam, like Adam, like Original John, like Groot, Evil Dragon, those guys around him, Harding, those guys, Panos as well, that can really put him under pressure, are going to be much further down the field. So it's going to be an interesting chance for Graham to not only get into the lead early doors, but to pull away from the pack and really make something of this final race. But I will be back very, very shortly with the all the commentary from this final race. Yeah, no, the racing has been absolutely phenomenal. Those front three in those first couple of races really did bring the pain. Particularly, I think it's going to be interesting for Adam and for Liam this race, because they've got to run those medium tyres now. They've put themselves in quite a difficult position with having to run those, because they're going to be at the back of the pack. The majority of the field ahead of them on soft compound tyres. And we know from Graham's run in that last race that it's about a 1.2 second loss in terms of race pace. Now, when you're the fastest man on the track and you're doing 44.2s, 1.2 seconds is still going to put you very firmly in that midfield. But I think the big killer there, those medium tyres, is that exit out of turn 16. That is absolute paramount key for your lap here at Fuji. If you get that right, everything else, you can a mistake here or there is not really going to cost you so much. The big problem, of course, if you don't get that good exit out at turn 16, by the end of the straight, you've cost yourself quite a lot of time, because you'll still hit top whack before you get there. But you want to hit top whack as early as possible and be moving as quickly as possible for as long as possible down that straight when you go into that braking zone, of course. And you can lose a couple of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds a lap, just by not getting turn 16 correct. And when you're on those medium compound tyres, you've got to brake that little bit earlier. You've got to turn that little bit earlier, and you've got to get on the power that little bit later, because you don't have the same grip that the soft tyres give you coming out of that turn. So it's going to be very difficult for them to make up those places. They're good point scoring from the first 2 races, of course, but it's going to be difficult. But into the final race we go. A race begins shortly. It does begin shortly, indeed. And again, I'm going to beg PD to not make me have to do this every single time a race begins. Right, where are we going to start from this time? I think we go back again to somewhere like 7th or 8th. There we go. With original John. Actually, I'm going to go with Graham there. I want to see how quickly he gets to start. That's 3, that's 4. That's 5 lights. What do we want? Race car noises. When do we want them? Now! And Evil Dragon with a great start. Graham with a fantastic start. Slipping straight through the middle. How long can Hoppers hold on? Hoppers in that Ford Focus ST. Of course, he's our teammate JPH on the conversation. Oh! And that's an absolute massive shunt. Massive shunt in the back of Evil Dragon. Let's have another little look what happened to him there. So we can see here, he gets the run down. Who's the car behind him? Where's the shunt come from? It looks like it might come from... Oh, there, Mark T! Absolutely melts it into turn 1. That is insane. He missed his braking point by about 27 miles. And sent the BMW of Evil Dragon absolutely flying. Wow. Mark T has done the right thing. He has gone behind him, but that is, for want of expression, absolutely fucked Evil Dragon's race. However quick he is now, whatever he does now, he's never going to be able to make up all those places he lost, where Mark T just forgot that there was a pedal next to the one he had his foot on. He had his foot on that loud pedal all the way down to the line, and then forgot that at some point you've got to let go. A little tap in the back of Captain Slow there from Evil Dragon. He is driving angry now. Wants to fight his way through. So out in front at the moment there is SCLD in that McGann. How long can he hold on? Now Panos did very well in race number 3 last time. He's got that AMG in second at the moment. He's got Groot for company. They've been pretty similar in pace all day. Let's have a look at who is left on those medium tyres. I think pretty much all these front runners are going to be on the softs. SCLD, of course. Panos, of course. Groot's on those mediums. Now, he's going to struggle a little bit. He's got Liam there's on mediums behind him. He's pretty racy, as we know. Graham's on those softs. He's behind Liam at the moment, but it's going to be very easy for him to find a way through with that extra traction he's going to get from those tyres. Hopper's in 6th, Riley in 7th, Harding in 8th, John in 9th place. Evil Dragon's fought his way up to his head of Addo, actually, who's not finding anywhere near the sort of pace that Liam is on those medium compound tyres, despite having a very similar pace through the first couple of races. He's running in 11th place. Captain Slow down to 12th. Mark T at the back of the pack after nearly killing Evil Dragon in that turn 1 incident. So your race leader, 1.6 seconds clear at the moment in that power maxed Renault Megane. Wouldn't it be good for one of our featured teams to take a podium today? Very nearly happened for Adam. Could happen for SCLD if he can hold off the charge of that AMG driven by God Give John or Panos, however you want to call it. Looking pretty quick so far. He's on those racing softs. He's got Groot for company on the mediums. Now, interesting here, you've got Groot on mediums. You've got Graham 1.1 behind him. He's on soft compounds. And behind him is Liam, who had a good battle with Graham in that first race. He's on those medium compound tyres. Now Graham in that BMW, great start from him. He's got drivers ahead of him, very, very capable drivers ahead of him. It's going to be a difficult task at this stage for him to fight his way through in that BMW. But I've got no doubt he'll be there or thereabouts if he, as long as he isn't knocking people out of the way as he did with Liam in race number 1. That's the thing as well. Does Liam feel a little bit of still feel a little bit of pain after that coming together in race number 1? And is he going to bring some pain to Graham here and change things up for him? Who knows? Answers on a postcard, please, and send them to wherever you fucking like, because I ain't going to read it. SCLD leads still, 1.1 seconds gap is coming down. Panos now in that AMG started to find the pace. 44.7 is your fastest lap. Groot, well, actually there's the battle for third. It's Liam, it's Groot, it's Graham. Graham making the move on Groot up into third. He goes, takes that quite well. He's got a bit of a gap to chase down to the top two. You can see there with these two running on those medium compound tyres. It's going to be an interesting battle for these two rich energy cars. The two Honda Civics, of course. The one with Liam and one with Groot. Good move again. Turn 16 again. With Groot taking... There is a couple of lines through there. There is that kind of wide line that some people take, or the really, really narrow that Liam seems to prefer through turn 16. He makes the move on his teammate, and you can see there behind, if we go back a couple of cars, that is the AMG of Riley on the soft compound tyres. Pulled out slipstream a little bit early and didn't have that final kind of impetus into turn 1. He's Groot opting for the inside line though, doesn't want to take the risk, allowing the AMG on those softer tyres to have that apex. He's going to have to go the long way round. Groot's going to make him work for this. Is he going to help his teammate here and defend from behind now? Now his teammate's ahead of him. Is he going to allow his teammate just to kind of push on and stick with Graham there, who's trying himself to push on to that front three? And you would have thought with that pace differential between the soft and the medium tyre that Graham would be pulling away a little bit more from Liam, but it seems that Liam's getting quite a lot out of these medium tyres, more than you would expect. Riley with another good run on Groot as a head up to the chicane. Groot again taking that inside line, defending very, very smartly, holding him off. And you can see there Riley going the long way around, going for the switcheroo. Doesn't work. Still tucked behind Groot. He is Groot, and he is not letting anyone through. Desperate battle. Harding not getting involved this time. Harding back. 3.3 seconds. The door left open. Riley does try to go through it. Groot says, "Not today, Valentino. Not today." And it doesn't happen. But Riley's like, "Come on, man. I'm on the soft tyres, man." Oh, he gets a good run there, though. This time, can he make the slipstream work for him? Changing up into 5th. Does he use that slipstream this time to get that move done up into 6th? It's a drag race. A drag between the Mercedes AMG and that Honda Civic. This time, that Sicily Motorsport AMG, driven by Aaron Riley, makes it into a 5th position. Can he hold off in the braking zone? Yes, he does. Very briefly, loses the back end. Almost flicking himself into a wall, but good save there from the number 93. So, battle up ahead. He is starting to drop off with 45.2, so he's only a second slower on the mediums than he was on those softs. Graham was 1.2 slower, mediums to soft. So there is a significant difference between the two drivers on how they can get the tyres to perform. But a second slower is going to make it difficult for him to stick with Graham. Graham doing a 45.5, not yet in those 44s. He has got it in the bag though. We know when he's got that. He's certainly got that in his locker. When he pulls it out of the bag is another matter. SCLD, he's still in the lead here on lap 5, but it looks like Panos, with his championship lead, He's looking to add to those maximum points he got in race 3 last time out and do the same again. Certainly helping the AMG team to hold on to the manufacturers or the team championship. And there he is in the Cataclean AMG Mercedes. He's got the slipstream. He's closing, but he's not closing quite enough to make a move into turn 1. SCLD doesn't have to worry so much about defending here. Under braking, now that was brilliant under braking. Struggled towards the end of the braking zone to get it slowed down and couldn't make that move on SCLD. SCLD holding on, but he broke really, really late, and I'm sure there was a split second when he was braking that he had that whack fuck moment where he was thinking he's going to hit this car and have to say, oh fuck. But got away with it. The Greek driver Panos. God give John, I've raced with this guy. I'm trying to think who I've raced with. I've raced with Riley, I've raced with Panos. That's pretty much it. I'm sure I've raced with Group before, but I could be wrong. I could be mistaking him for Star Group, who races with us on a very regular basis. In fact, a very key member of the Black Flag team. In fact, the Welsh Wizard, Wiggy himself. Right, so let's have a full run through here on lap 69. 69. SCLD leads the way. He's holding off Panos by about half a second. Graham 5.2 seconds back. He's now in those 44.8 in that BMW. He's now pulling away from Liam. Got that gap in that BMW in the top 3. He is 2.7 seconds back to Liam, who pulled off that absolutely phenomenal move in turn 16 in that last race over Adam, who's down in 8th place. Riley there in 5th in the AMG, trying desperately to find that extra little bit of pace to get past the winner of race 2. Groot there on those medium tyres under some pressure from the Ford ST of Harding. Our drag racing down. Harding takes 6th position, and Groot has to just resign to the fact that on those medium tyres he just doesn't have the additional pace needed to make the move on against that Ford. There is Adam in the Power Max McGann down in 8th place. Contributed so much to some of the action in the first 2 races, but now with those medium tyres really struggling with the pace. He's some way off for 46.1, his best lap, and he was firmly in those mid 44s. So he's really struggling on those medium compound tyres. Captain Slow, he's faring quite well. He's in the top 10. He's not so slow now. He's got original John behind him. He's struggling a little bit on those mediums. Around the outside in that Volkswagen, but just can't make the move on Captain Slow as it stands. Crawling all over the back of him though. There is Hoppity Hoppers up in 11 places ahead of the Evil Dragon, who we saw get absolutely melted by Mark T into turn 1. It was a phenomenal smash. It was certainly one for the show reel, the end of season show reel for him. He's down in 12th place, but now struggling to find the pace. That's the problem, of course. Once you get into that kind of tail end, even though you might be, a second lap faster than the guys ahead of you, you've got to find a way past them. And if they're defending well and they're holding you off, it makes your job very, very difficult. It costs you time. And it costs you your rhythm as well, most importantly. He's having a look at Hoppers here, though. Makes the move into turn 16. Can he make it stick? He does. He makes that move stick. Very, very good. Overtake from Evil Dragon. 1.5 behind original John. There's Hoppers in 12th and Mark T bringing up the rear. Right, the gap now out in front is much, much smaller. We can see that Panos has reeled in SCLD. SCLD running out of time, running out of road to lead this race in that Renault Megane. Really important for him actually to score well here while his teammate down in 8th. Panos up the inside. Old switcheroo for the Megane though, and doesn't hold it. It is side-by-side close racing between these two. Panos had a little go, but just goes a bit wide on the exit. That's SCLD back at him with the switcheroo. I think when you make that move, you've got to make sure you've got the car slowed down enough to hold it. He makes the move again, and again loses out. Again makes the move. Again, will he lose out with not having the inside line? This time, he makes it stick. This time, Panos is in the lead in the AMG. Can SCLD stick with him? Can he get in that slipstream and reel him back in for turn one? Panos with the fastest lap rate of 44.0. That's a phenomenal. That's the fastest lap of the day by some margin. What an absolute phenomenal lap. He really does save his best till last, does Panos. Race one, he started like race one, he finds his feet. Race two, he gets his rhythm, and race three, he just goes hammer time, and there he is, 44.0, his fastest lap there. Phenomenal lap. Woo, as they say in the business. To be fair, he did have a lot of slipstream help with that as well. Right, so Panos now leads on this final lap of the race, lap 9 of 9 from SCLD. They are some significant away from Graham, running there in third place. Comfortably so, though, because his biggest rival on track today has been Liam. And Liam there is 1.2 seconds behind him, but on the medium compound tyres. He's managed to do a 45.1, so 9/10 slower than his quickest lap on the softs. There's Riley in that AMG. He's 1.4 behind Liam Thursday, but he's got a battle going on again. It's Harding having his own little. It's almost like this Ford Focus has a personal vendetta against the AMGs, because he's been battling with them all day long. So Harding having a go at Riley. It's very difficult when you're trying to chase down somebody, but you've got another car in your mirrors looking for any mistake, any error. So you have to kind of drive defensively and not be able to attack as much as you would like. He is grouped in the Rich Energy Honda. They're in 7th, 6 seconds ahead of Adam in the Power Max and McGann. Evil Dragon in 9th, 10th is Original John Cactus. Right, Panos, run down to the line. Final race here at Fuji, and he's got SCLD in his slipstream, but they're going to race to the line. SCLD not close enough to make it a photo finish, and Panos takes the win. SCLD couldn't hold on for the win, ends up second, with Graham coming home with a respectable third position. Liam in 4th, Riley in 5th, holds off Harding in 6th. He is grouped, and he is 7th, and that's a good finish for him. Adam couldn't do more with that Power Maxed. 8th position for him, with a 10-second gap back to Evil Dragon. That's some work he's done there. Original John T coming home in 10th. Captain Slow in 11th. Mark T in 12th. Hoppers in 13th. Evil Dragon had some work to do after getting absolutely smashed the living shit out of in turn one, and that's the only way to describe it. Absolutely melted like a ice cream in the summer. Right, there we go. There we have it. Official results. Panos with the win there, 44.0. SCLD in the began trophy, come home in 2nd. Graham with another top 3 finish in that BMW. Although I'm sure the stewards might look at that race 1 incident with Liam, who came home in 4th. Riley in 5th, Harding home in 6th in that Focus ST. He's been there or thereabouts the whole race. Garut in the Rich Energy Civic in 7th. Adam in that McGann in 8th. Evil Dragon recovers that turn 1 incident and finishes in 9th, with John T behind him in the Golf in 10th. Captain Slow and his teammate Mark T 11th and 12th. And Hoppity Hoppers in that Focus ST finishing in 13th place. That's an awesome race. Really close racing. It can only get better. We're moving on. Where are we next time out? If you give me a sec, I'll tell you. We are... I should have this ready for you already, shouldn't I? Preparation. Boom. There it is. That's where it's, yeah. So we're at Fuji now. We move on next week. We are at Sardenga A, one of my favourite racetracks. 3.18 miles, 15 corners, 9 laps. It is a brilliant circuit and almost impossible to overtake. Qualifying is going to be of the utmost importance next week. But all that's left to say is thank you for joining me. This has been the Full Throttle Racing BTCC League. rounds 4, 5, and 6. Back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. I've been UrbanPyrate, and it's been emotional.